Hello everyone and welcome to Nocturnal Horrors. My name is Sean Mazral and today we're going to talk about a film that I don't think gets discussed very much.
Mother! Oh God, Mother!
Back when I was going through the Psycho franchise and realized I didn't like the second film nearly as much as I liked the third film, I started researching Anthony Perkins and his directing style. I was amazed that Psycho 3 was his directorial debut. I loved his style, the story, and everything about what he accomplished. Obviously, I had to check out and see what else he had directed, and lo and behold, he had only one more credit to his directorial splendor. Lucky Stiff is from 1988. We aren't talking about the 2015 film with Jason Alexander, And we certainly aren't talking about the plethora of films for grown-ups that come up when you type Lucky Stiff into a search engine. No. Lucky Stiff from director Anthony Perkins is a comedy about a family of cannibals who are in desperate need for the perfect Christmas meal, especially since Grandma is coming and she is quite picky with what she eats.
She won't touch anyone that's been frozen. You can't take him now.
Why do we have to change things just because Grandma's coming? Oh!
And well, this is not a PC world in the 1980s and therefore, well, it's very simple. They're looking for a very fat man to cook and eat. It's a preposterous story with a preposterous tone, with over-the-top acting, music, direction, the works. Honestly, it's ridiculous. And even the plot goes to insane places, and yet still didn't go deep enough in my opinion.
I guarantee you they'll eat you up.
All right.
I wanted to see the poor bastard get eaten alive. What can I say? That's how far the film should have gone. Picture Tom Hanks in The Burbs being cooked up. They kind of tried that vision, but just didn't quite cut it. I wanted it to reach that level and then some more. I just wanted to see them nibble on a toe or a finger or something. And although the script doesn't quite take it where it needs to go, that doesn't mean it's not funny. Yeah, there's terrible fat jokes, but there's also an array of crotch jokes and weird subplots that I never saw coming. There's inbreeding, dueling cannibal families, and toxic waste. But honestly, there is one subplot that literally is like a minute worth of its time in the film, and it's just pure comedic gold. I loved it so much. And I'll just say right here, this is a trigger warning for suicide. One of the younger cannibals in the family has tried to commit suicide, like 3 times. After the 3rd time, the family said, screw it. And they just decided to let the boy think the suicide was successful.
And you are?
I don't see anybody.
So they pretend the boy is actually dead, so he will no longer try to harm himself.
There does seem to be a heavy presence of poltergeist activity tonight.
But the problem with this is now the boy believes he's a ghost, so he's constantly acting out, haunting a house and haunting the people and smashing potatoes in people's faces or dangling their shoes in front of them, acting as a ghost would do. He literally haunts the house because he thinks he's dead. I think this is genius. I honestly just can't help it. It's so ridiculous. It's so brilliant. And yeah, I want to see that subplot as a full-length feature film.
That pesky ghost is back.
So it seems.
Overall, the script and the performances just aren't up to par. I did enjoy the film and I'm glad I watched it, but I think it could have been way better. So this is not a recommendation by any stretch of the imagination. I would call it more of a public service announcement. I just want you to know that this film exists. And if you want to watch it, go for it. This film actually could have worked really well if it had a comedic genius of the 80s in the lead role, like a John Candy or a Dan Aykroyd, and later on even a Mike Myers or an Eddie Murphy. Both of them could have done the fat suit thing that they've done before, and it would have worked really well. Chris Farley, although the timing would have been off, would have absolutely freaking nailed this role. I also think Jack Black would have killed this role, but currently he's too busy being an absolute genius on TikTok to be bothered. Now that I'm thinking about all the people who could kill this lead performance, I want a remake. This should be a remake. This is the perfect film to be remade. Yeah, I know we hate remakes, but these are the type of films worth remaking. We hate remaking great films, but this one ain't that. It's got a fun, over-the-top plot. that didn't come together with the acting, directing, or story. If it did come together back in the 80s, this would have been an absolute cult classic guaranteed. But it didn't work, so it's not. So we should retry it. So yeah, I'm screaming for the remake. No, I'm not screaming for the remake, I'm screaming for the subplot into a feature film of the boy who thinks he committed suicide and now believes he's a ghost and goes on haunting people even though he's really alive. It's genius, I'm sorry, it's genius. But if we don't do this, then yeah, let's do the remake. Thank you all so much for watching. I know this is a bit of a silly one, but it's good to have on your radar. It's good to know about this film. I mean, anything Anthony Perkins does, we should know about. And I also apologize for the less than par footage. I found the movie on YouTube in 360p and nowhere else, so it gets a little grainy. And lastly, I just want to say thank you to everyone who has clicked on this video and who has gotten this far. I truly salute you. I thank you so much. You're the best. Have a good one, and we'll see you next time.